How much is the reward for? Let's go on a bounty hunt.
Should we go on a search?
Let's do it, guys. We're the the fashion sleuths.
The Bias Cut podcast
just
on.
becomes
We are
Searching
on the
for
case.
Madonna's clothing. Hi, and welcome back to The Bias Cut. Today, we will be talking about Taylor Swift, her engagement, and why it seems like no one will leave her alone, no one will stop talking about her wedding dress, people want to make assumptions about what her wedding dress will be, etc., and why women celebrities in the industry have been facing this for years. So Maggie is going to be our Taylor Swift expert, a Swiftie herself. So we're gonna let Maggie lead the way.
Thank you so much for that introduction.
What an intro.
That's a great intro. Yeah. I want to say right now, I will claim the title of Taylor Swift expert. I will.
Yes.
And I feel like I should do a disclaimer. Like, I am a Swiftie. I am a lifelong Swiftie for more than half my life. I don't even cringe saying the word Swiftie anymore. Like, I am here. I am loyal.
I'm here. I am queer.
Well, and I want to say this because there is some problems in the fan base where, especially within the last few years, where people online will claim to be Swifties to like get the Swifties clicks, and then they'll say a bunch of mean things and like not be a Swiftie. So I just want to be clear to any Swifties who have clicked who don't know me, don't know us. Like, I'm legit. We do want your clicks, but it is sincere. Swifties, like, I promise, I'm a real one. Since I was, 8 years old, like, my first concert was Red in 2013. Like, it was, let's just get into it.
Yeah, let's dive in.
So let's set the scene a little bit. So on August 26th of 2025, Taylor Swift, she went to Instagram to announce her engagement to her boyfriend of 2 years, American football player Travis Kelce. And the world lost their minds. A lot of people obviously were very happy. This is a very exciting thing. So the photo she posted got 37 million likes, 2.5 million reposts, and 10 million shares.
Damn.
This is a big deal.
It blew up.
Blew up very quickly. I remember where I was when these photos dropped. So I don't want to be parasocial, but yeah, it was a big deal. Since 2017, and this is just an unrelated fact because I am the Taylor Swift expert, she has she did the old Taylor is dead. She deleted all the Instagram and she used to be one of the most followed people, and now she doesn't really use Instagram for she doesn't post personal photos. That's why this was so exciting because she doesn't. Most of what she posts, you'll find are tour related, music related.
Right.
So she definitely, though, because of that, she doesn't get as much engagement as she used to. And I think that is intentional for her own piece. So she captioned this photo: "Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married," with a couple of little emojis. And so this caption, if you don't know, is a reference to a longtime joke within the Taylor Swift fandom. The Swifties, we refer to her as an English teacher because she often references in her lyrics classic literature, and she uses some extensive vocabulary. So it's a little joke, right? However, the problem with things like this is, this is a big deal. This is being obviously seen by people way outside the fandom. It's worldwide. And trouble generally comes about when things leave the fandom bounds, is what I have found in my experience. So an engagement announcement is going to do that. And there was backlash to this photo that some thought her caption was inappropriate as it was disrespectful to teachers.
Oh my God.
For her to use that title. Now, this doesn't have much to do with anything of this episode other than I just want to set the stage. This is the temperature in the room right now. But in the months since the engagement announced, the media interest has never really died down. News outlets are always speculating over every little detail. Where will the wedding be? When will it be? Who will be the bridesmaids? Is Blake Lively going to be invited? Are they still friends? Did she really bribe another bride to take her date to say, did you hear about that? She allegedly told another bride she wants this date at this venue and she'll pay for your entire wedding at a different spot if you give her this date. I don't know.
Honestly, I'd take that.
I'd take that too. Yeah.
Buy me
Free
out.
wedding.
Like, dang.
I know everyone was like, she's a bridezilla with that news. That we don't even know if it's true. I'd be like, hey, that's a pretty good deal. She'll pay for the whole wedding.
Yeah, like,
the whole wedding,
Free wedding
for free. All I have to do is move the date. Like, come on.
Easy.
But one of the most pressing questions is, what will she wear? Now, as a Swiftie, I will admit, like, I am interested. I want to know. Sue me, I want to know what she's going to wear. But I'm also really interested, like, as a dress historian, because you have to consider, like, her level of stardom. If the public will be permitted to see an image of her in her wedding dress, it will be, like, one of the most dispensed images of a wedding dress of all time, right? Like, this is right up there with Princess Diana, Kate Middleton. Like, she is our American princess. Like, it's going to be huge if we get to see it. You know, it's going to have its effect on trends. So, to be clear, we have no idea when or where Taylor and Travis will wed. There's been nothing confirmed. There's a lot of stuff in the news lately as we get closer that says, oh, it's going to be May, June, July, whenever. There's no verification. But as we get closer to this alleged date, everyone kind of seems to be like even further losing their minds. That brings us to what happened a couple weeks ago. On April 13th, the magazine In Style posted on their social media a little run through of some of their staff members predicting what Taylor might wear on her wedding day. Gloria Pantel, she's the senior art director at In Style, she said, I can totally see Taylor in a Nicole and Felicia fairy tale wedding gown. The drama with the flowers on the skirt echo their romantic garden engagement. And then we see Madeline Hirsch, the fashion features director, said, there's something about a sweetheart corset that feels extremely Swiftian. The singer's wearing a lot of New York-based label. Yeah, all that. I don't know. We don't have to read the whole thing. You've seen it. Carly Bendlin, senior editorial and strategy director, is a longtime fan of Oscar de la Renta. Wouldn't be surprised. Taylor turned to the fashion house for the big day. She's worn Oscar de la Renta before. Great. Yaron Kim, the news director, said, I envision Taylor in something in the vein of the custom Vivienne Westwood gown she wore on the Tortured Poets era of the Eras tour. Yeah, great. And, you see they have Taylor's head photoshopped on these brides, like, just a fun little feature. Can't blame them for using Taylor for clicks. That's what we're doing right now. So, sure.
No, I get that. And I think that's fun. I feel like the Oscar de la Renta dress, like, that would make most sense to me, just given her kind of, like, style history.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about that later, but she's worn Oscar de la Renta before. I really love her Oscar de la Renta works. It really works for her. But either way, I thought all of these predictions were, like, really thoughtful, like, well-researched. They're referencing things she's done before, like, just cute, nice, not a big deal. But then, so Taylor Ford, the social media director, she predicted, if you're on #WeddingTalk in 2026 like I am, you'll know that the patron saint of basic bitches, Taylor Swift, is a basque waist burgundy and chartreuse color palette girl. She'll copy Lana and go for a Sync Bridal's Louise gown.
Damn.
So
that's kind of insane.
That's kind of insane. It's kind of an insane thing to say.
I'm surprised that In Style, like, published that, honestly.
Exactly.
Because she's the social media director. I think
so
she knew what she was doing.
Yep. Definitely.
Yep. So first things first, though, like, since when is it okay to call a woman a bitch in a published magazine in 2026? Even if it's, like, a basic bitch. That's still you're calling her a bitch. Like, have we not gotten past that? For real. The level of vitriol is, like, so crazy to me. Like, Taylor Ford, you do not know this woman. You have not seen this dress. Why? Why are you so angry?
Who cares? Like, who cares if she wears, like, follows the trend?
Literally.
She's allowed to do that. You're allowed to do that.
Like, I don't want to be hypocritical because I am, like, also a Taylor Swift follower, but it is so strange to me, and we'll get more into this, but, like, people who follow her because they hate her. Like, I follow it because it is fun for me. Why? So Taylor Ford, well, you can imagine the post got a lot of backlash. Taylor Ford commented on the post on Instagram saying, "Oops on the shade, sorry Tay," like that makes it better. InStyle has since taken this down.
Oh.
Go Swifties. Due to the backlash. No, because we don't let up. Like you can't call her a bitch, but it's still up on their Facebook where it's seen very little engagement because it's Facebook. I think they probably forgot. But this whole debacle reminded me of something else. So in January of 2024, we're going to flash back. The New York Times published an article titled, "Look What We Made Taylor Swift Do," which the article analyzes certain things Taylor has done to supposedly signal to her fans that she is secretly bisexual or a lesbian. Yeah. So this work it's speculative fiction and it's incredibly disrespectful. In the article, the author sort of implies that what the culture needs right now to make change is a queer hero, and that hero should be Taylor Swift.
Oh, right. Not just like the so many other queer artists who
so
are like
many
out and proud
queer
and
artists
are
who
doing
would
the
love
thing.
your patronage and like
Right.
No.
Absolutely. Thank you,
Yeah.
New York Times.
Thank you, New York Times. Because it is crazy for the New York Times to publish this article. Like, there's Reddit threads about this. Like, this is not a new topic. Like,
Yeah.
But for the New York Times to post this is crazy, right? Like,
Yeah.
It's also like it's
crazy.
one thing to like for like fans to like write fan fiction that like place the like artist or character of a TV show or whatever and like make them like queer in whatever they're like writing on AO3 and like actually saying like this person is a bi icon or this person should be a bi icon or you know whatever and like publishing it in like large publications.
Yeah.
These are completely different things.
Completely. And that's like, there's, the Reddit thread, Gaylor Swift is, I don't want to point people to that, but that's where this is happening. And it ranges.
To get a grip.
Literally.
But it ranges from people being like, I love this song that she wrote, and I, as a queer person, like identify with a lot of themes of that.
Exactly.
Great.
That's
Incredible.
really nice.
I love that.
Exactly.
And then, but it ranges from that to, no, she's secretly a lesbian and all of her boyfriends that she's ever had are fake. And her dad is abusive and keeping her from coming out. And
What the fuck?
what? You're writing fan fiction about a person you don't know. Like,
It's very a la Larry back in the day.
it's
Like,
very,
it's just
Larry.
like y'all like you can write like a funny fan fiction about it, like
that
have fun.
in an American
but...
accent is so funny to me.
a la Larry.
A la Larry. It's very a la that of like
the
you can't
levels of-
speculate about people's sexuality. Like,
Yeah.
let's stop making it gay witch hunts. Like, no, we're not
But
doing
it's like
that.
the opposite gay witch hunt. It's like a weird.
Exactly, where it's like
It's
you
like
like
a
want.
weird.
Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
obsession. Like,
So,
yeah.
yeah. So this article kind of also implies that like Taylor Swift needs to be our queer hero. And it goes as far to kind of say that it doesn't say this directly, but it kind of implies it that she kind of like owes it to the community, to her community to come out.
Right.
Now more
right.
now more than ever, we need Taylor Swift to come out. Like,
Right. Right.
my
Right.
So let's put aside the fact that Taylor Swift has explicitly stated that she is straight. She's had to because of this. She has stated that she supports the queer community. She's not a part of it. Imagine imagine if these people were right and that she was like a closeted lesbian. So this article would be then outing her to the United States, like to like in
Literally.
what world is that okay? Like like the mental gymnastics, like there's not a scenario where it becomes okay to publish an article like this, right?
I think it just shows like this, and then the social media director at InStyle, like it shows that like these like news outlets are just doing things for like shock and to like start a cultural conversation and to have some type of like relevancy.
Exactly. Like they just know her
yeah.
name will get clicks, and so they'll say anything to get that engagement. Like there's no acknowledgement like that there is a human being behind this. I think she's just gotten so big that people kind of lose sight of that. So in response to this New York Times article, it says a person close to the situation, and this is CNN, so one can assume like it's a verified source, it's a member of her team. This is what they had to say. Because of her massive success, in this moment, there is a Taylor-shaped hole in people's ethics. The article wouldn't have been allowed to be written about Shawn Mendes or any male artist whose sexuality has been questioned by fans. There seems to be no boundary some journalists won't cross when writing about Taylor, regardless of how invasive, untrue, and inappropriate all is, all under the protective veil of an opinion piece. Which I think is like really a spot on read for this situation. Because like going back like to the InStyle, why is InStyle calling her a misogynistic slur? Why is the New York Times publishing a piece on her sexuality? Like, I'm not going to pretend times are great right now, but those seem to be things that we kind of culturally can agree are not okay. Like there is a line that we shouldn't cross. So like, why is it okay to cross it if it's Taylor Swift? But this is not the first time something like this has occurred. Like the biggest instance being in 2016, Kanye West in his song called her a bitch, and he put a wax figure of her naked body in bed with him in the music video. And when she came out to say that she did not consent to all of that, she got canceled. Like we knew better at that point, but it's Taylor Swift, so it's fine. And another instance of this would be in January 2024, there was an entire day on Twitter where like deep fake images of her naked, like sexual positions were being widely spread across the platform. Again, this is something that everyone seems to understand is wrong. But even progressives were like not that mad about it on Twitter because, you know, it's Taylor Swift. It's fine. Like she can handle it. And on that subject, on the AI images, there was a great quote from Laura Bates, who's the author of Men Who Hate Women. Great book. You should read it if you haven't. She says, "This is just the new way of controlling women. You take somebody like Swift, who is extraordinarily successful and powerful, and it's a way of putting her back in her box. It's a way of saying to any woman, it doesn't matter who you are, how powerful you are, we can reduce you to a sex object and there's nothing you can do about it. In that way, it's nothing new. But the facilitated spread of this particular form of virulent misogyny that should worry us and how normalized and accepted it is." And it's been in the news this week that Taylor has filed for 3 different trademarks for her voice and her likeness to protect herself from these AI deepfakes. The rundown is 2 sound mark application cover audio of her saying, "Hey, it's Taylor Swift," and "Hey, it's Taylor." And a visual trademark covers an image of her on stage in a, quote, multicolored iridescent bodysuit with silver boots while holding a pink guitar. So these are filings that are supposedly to combat the rise of AI-generated deepfakes, such as for fraudulent advertisements, explicit content, and fake political endorsements. Because that was another problem, is someone used an AI deepfake of her to endorse Trump, so she'd have legal protection over that. So you'd think like no one would have a problem with this, right? Like it's a woman just trying to own her own identity and her own likeness. No, people had problems with it. A lot of people are saying, well, this is hypocritical of her because she's used AI in her music videos before. So why would she do this now? So first off, she hasn't used AI in her music videos. There's no evidence of her ever using AI in her music videos. Second, again, even if she did, it's totally okay for her to still want to file a trademark to protect herself from AI porn. It's dangerous when we get into this like ideology of like, there's a moral metric that a woman should have to meet. It's like, oh, if you're below this line, it's okay to be misogynistic to you. Mm-hmm. Like Taylor Swift could be the worst person in the world and it still wouldn't be okay to make AI naked images of her.
Yeah, that's what I find interesting with Taylor Swift, because like, just to be perfectly honest, there are a lot of things about her that I don't personally like, I'm not aligned with. But it's weird that people think, because she does have an insane amount of privilege, right? Just you know, she's a successful, rich white woman. But for some reason, people read that as like, oh, then we can do anything to her in a way that like isn't applied to other women at the similar. I mean, there aren't a lot of women in similar, you know,
Right.
level as her. But yeah, the lack of sympathy that she gets purely because she is successful and rich. It's
It's
really baffling. It's really
it's
baffling.
it is truly baffling, and I'm glad you brought that up because that is like something I wanted to like clarify, because I don't want to, I don't know, it's hard to talk about things like this because I don't want it to seem like, oh, boohoo, poor Taylor Swift, poor billionaire white rich
Right.
woman, like she's fine, you know, she's fine, she's gonna be fine. Like, and I'm sure, you know, like I hope she has like great people on her team, she's not seeing all these images of her, like what people are saying. Like, I would hope someone's just like
I hope
keeping
so.
her safe from these things, like,
Yeah.
but she'll be fine, you know, again, she's very
Yeah.
privileged. But like with the In Style piece coming out, it's brought back to the forefront of my mind something, like, as I said, I'm a longtime Swiftie, decades here, like, that I've noticed with people who hate her. And I'm not saying people who don't like her, but because I think there's plenty of reasons to not like her. There's plenty of reasons to criticize her. She's not a, like, she's a real person. She is not without
Yeah,
flaw.
she's not perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a human. But I'm talking about like the people who hate her, you know,
Yeah.
the people who spend their time hating her. I think like the level of vitriol I've seen for her in the past decades just goes beyond what I believe is an appropriate amount of hate to
Yeah.
have for a person you don't know, who has not
Yeah.
like personally wronged you. You know, like, why are
I
you
think that
spending your time?
there's a way to have a genuine critique of Taylor Swift that doesn't include misogyny and
Yes.
like
Absolutely.
and just like genuine like grossness, like,
Yeah.
because there are genuine reasons to critique her, but it doesn't need to be met with calling her a basic bitch or to be, you know, making AI deep fakes about her, like. But I will say, I think there are other women in the pop industry who experience like similar things. I wouldn't say on this caliber, just because it is Taylor Swift. Because I think about like, and something else plays into this, but I think about Megan Thee
Chaperone.
Stallion
Oh.
and
Chaperone,
well, Chaperone,
yeah.
But Megan Thee
Yeah.
Stallion and like everything that happened around her. I forget his name. What's his name? Who shot her in the foot? I can't remember.
We don't need to remember his name.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
literally don't. And obviously, like, she experienced so much online hate about, like, literally telling her that she, like, deserved it. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of that comes from, like, misogynoir, like, racism. Like, that is, like, a different level of abuse that she's facing. But I think her career has been really interesting because there are so many people who throw so much misogyny her way because she's a very, like, at least in her music, like, I don't know her personally, but at least in her music and the way that she presents herself online, it's a very, like, confident, is very, like, real. And I think that people, because of that, throw so much nastiness her way. So I think, but again, I feel like, you know, because Taylor Swift is who she is, like, I think we see this a lot more in, like, mainstream like news outlets. Like, you see what happens to Megan Thee Stallion is more so like, I don't think it's, although I don't know, I like haven't done research into this, but I don't think we're seeing it as much in like mainstream news outlets. Although I think during the trial, I think she was like getting a lot of that in mainstream news outlets for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. It's just like, I think it's so crazy how women can like so clearly be the victim in a situation, like so clear cut, like how Megan was, and people still find a way to spin it and be like, no, actually,
Literally.
you're evil. For Taylor Swift, I think here's my theory, and this might be controversial, but from what I've observed, I think a lot of people who really, really hate her, and again, like we said, like not like people who critique her, who don't like her, people who like viciously hate her, which there are a lot of people who spend time out of their day on the regular to hate Taylor Swift. I think for a lot of people, I don't think they actually hate Taylor Swift. I think that she sort of serves as a proxy for people who just hate women.
Yeah.
And I think she is a woman that is generally like somewhat socially acceptable to hate and to call a bitch. And again, if it wasn't Taylor Swift, I think it'd be someone else. Like, I think it honestly has very little to do with her personally, and it's more so just misogyny, very plain and clear.
Yeah.
So my point with that is, though, that like if these things are happening to her, you know, she's having a hard time getting deep fake images of herself down, like all of these things, people are calling her slurs, misogynistic slurs on in published magazines. Like, if billionaire, beautiful, tall Taylor Swift, white woman can, like, she's one of the most famous people in the world, like, right, she's one of the most powerful women in the world. If these things are happening to her, what hope is there for the rest of us? That's really my main point of like, this is not good for the culture. Like,
Yeah.
I think she like exposes the amount of misogyny that like still it just exists online, like the kind of like very baseline misogyny.
It reminds me of like when like there will be like a woman will do a bad thing and people will be like, finally a woman I'm allowed to call a bitch, and it's like, no.
No.
We don't use that
finally?
word.
Like, you've been sitting here waiting, like,
literally.
And not to excuse any bad thing any woman has ever done, but you know, like we were saying before, it doesn't work.
I think you put it really well in that, like, there shouldn't be like a moral, I don't remember your exact phrasing, but
like a moral baseline,
yeah,
that allows you to be a victim of misogyny. Like, if you're under the line, you must be this morally good to be not called a bitch. Like, and you can be below the line and be critiqued and be called a lot of things. Let's just get rid of the gendered terms, you know. The gender-based violence and threats and terms.
I think it's just like, it's like the age-old thing of like holding women to such a high caliber in order for them to be treated quote unquote fairly. Like, you have to meet this certain expectation.
So to regroup a little bit, that was kind of a rant, but to get back to clothes a little bit,
we're a fashion podcast, we swear.
We are a fashion podcast.
We promise.
We promise.
But it's pretty upsetting to me. Like, I feel like it was just important to like set the scene of like how much vitriol this woman faces.
We definitely needed that context. Yeah.
And like, there's so much vitriol for a dress you haven't seen yet on a day that is supposed to be her day. Like, she's not on the clock. She's not working. She doesn't owe you a photo of this dress, let alone an iconic, groundbreaking fashion moment. Like, it's her wedding. She should be able to wear what she wants to wear. Like, something she feels beautiful in. Who cares if it's basic? Like, who cares?
Lest we forget that, like, a wedding is such a personal event. If you never show those pictures to anyone, that's well within your right. It's a very personal event.
Like, it's frankly none of
some may
our
say
business.
The most personal event.
Literally.
Like, I hope that Taylor Swift picks a dress that she loves and that she feels beautiful in, and she doesn't care what everyone else is gonna think about it, because they're gonna think things. And like, I just hate the term basic for Taylor Swift, for anyone. Like, I think it's mean. I think it's mean-spirited. And like, if you enjoy something, if something brings you joy, wear it. Like, it's fine.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think it's that behind that word feels like there's an expectation for other people to perform for you.
Yeah.
Like, there's something very entitled behind that word.
It's a term that's like been long used for Taylor and her fans. She's basic and I'm basic for liking her. She's been criticized too for like not having a signature style. She's not an innovator of fashion. She's never claimed to be. What I'll say in response to that is that she is a singer and a songwriter. Like, that is her job. Her job is not to be a fashion girly, and she's just probably not that interested in it. There's a really great, I found a British Vogue article from August 2023. It's titled, "Taylor Swift is not a fashion innovator, but perhaps that's the point." I really loved what they wrote. It says, Swift refuses to flaunt her superstardom. She strives to be seen as unostentatious and is happy to be perceived as a, quote, corny millennial. She told the NYU's graduating class of 2022, "Learn to live alongside cringe. No matter how hard you try to avoid being cringe, you will look back on your life and cringe retrospectively." So I kind of like that. I'm just like, she's just living her life. She's like, she's fine. Like, she's not trying to do stuff trying to become an icon like in that way. I think it honestly like makes her more relatable.
I definitely think so. I mean, I think sometimes, I think a lot of the time, like celebrities have stylists who put them in clothing that potentially is like not even what they're interested in wearing. And so I think it's always interesting when you see celebrities who like clearly are more intentional and have more of a say in what they wear.
And I think her relatability is the reason why she is so popular.
Yeah.
Like, ultimately.
Yeah.
Because young girls can look at her and be like, I want to be like her and I can be like her.
It's been like long criticized that society expects like so much of female artists, while like male artists can get by with doing not so much, the bare minimum.
This is where Mr. Sheeran comes in.
Yeah. So we've all seen these side by sides, like Taylor Swift's tour versus Ed Sheeran. She's got the lights, she's got the costumes, she's got the dancers, she's got the screen behind her, the choreography. And like, not to hate on Ed Sheeran, but his tours are pretty like, there's him in a t-shirt and jeans holding his guitar. But like, this is kind of a tired conversation. Like, I didn't even, part of me was like, do I even bring this up? Like, this is not groundbreaking. Like, yeah, we know. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like, nothing's changed ever. Like, it's still this way. Like, we're coming right off of Coachella, and a big topic of conversation with the last couple weekends of Coachella were the difference between Justin Bieber's set and Sabrina Carpenter's set. It's difficult to ignore. Sabrina, you know, she did the whole thing. She had the dancers and the costume changes and the props and whole scenes where Susan Sarandon was playing an older herself. There was a time jump. There was a story. Like, it was a whole thing. And, you know, Justin Bieber's, comparatively, was pretty low effort. And a lot of people were quick to call this out. He was on YouTube on his laptop. And, you know, a lot of people were pretty quick to call this out. And some did point out, like, in Justin's defense, it's very different because, you know, he is at a very different point in his career than Sabrina is. And his set was really, it was making a statement. And I do agree with that. Like, no shade to Bieber. I agree. I mean, we were all texting about his set. Like, it was, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really sentimental and really sweet and special the way he did that. Like, I would agree with that. But I think, though, even when you're comparing him to his peers and people, women who have started their careers around the same time as him or before him, I don't think any female artists could have gotten away with doing something like that. Think of Taylor, Beyonce, Gaga, like none of them could have ever gotten away with it.
Can you imagine if Rihanna came back and did that?
Literally.
In a hoodie,
I'm also just thinking about like FK Twig's set at Coachella, which like required so much like physical ability. Like the amount of training that she does, like you see so many like insane performances from women at Coachella.
And like, again, like no shade to Mr. Bieber. I really liked his set, but again, I think we should acknowledge that like a woman couldn't have done that. Like
maybe
even
they should
Madonna.
start doing that. Pull up YouTube on stage.
Yeah.
Honestly, if Rihanna did that, if that was her concert, I'd 100% go.
The way in which that would touch me as like my child, like if Rihanna went on stage and pulled up her old videos, I would be there. I would be there.
Rihanna, please.
Rihanna, please.
Please do it. No, do your thing, girl. It's totally fine.
But like, even so, like we're comparing, you know, Taylor, Beyonce, Gaga, Rihanna to Justin. I think, if I'm not wrong, I think though all of those women came onto the scene before he did. Even I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, even Madonna came out with Sabrina and was in full costume doing the absolute most at 67 years old. Like, do we ever get a break? Can we ever rest?
You know, they stole her clothes.
What?
Backstage,
Wait, what?
Madonna, her archival outfits got stolen from at Coachella.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, like there was stuff
Holy
from her
shit.
personal archive that she had got like taken with her.
Oh, I'd be
That's
pissed.
and they stole
insane.
She put out a reward for like
Oh my gosh.
people to return her outfit.
That is so crazy.
How much is the reward for? Let's go on a bounty hunt.
Should we go on a search?
Let's do it, guys. We're the the fashion sleuths.
The Bias Cut podcast,
our podcast just
on.
becomes
We are
searching
on the
for
case.
Madonna's clothing.
Would you guys be interested in a series about that?
That would actually that would be so cute, honestly.
That would be really good if we had the funds or any sort of thing to actually do anything. Like, that would be cute. Someone should do that.
Yeah, someone should do that. Someone should take that idea.
Well, apparently there is no evidence that it was intentionally stolen. I don't know what that means.
Like it wasn't a heist.
Oh, maybe
It
someone
could have
like
been just
accidentally.
yeah. They should just like looking. I don't know why I'm thinking of like doing like high school theater or cheerleading or stuff, and everyone's stuff is getting mixed up. Like everyone check your bags, all the dancers
Yeah.
check your bags, see if you accidentally grabbed Madonna's archival.
Yeah.
So basically, if you're a woman in really in anything, I was gonna say like in the media, but like if you're a woman, you kind of have to be like performing all the time to your fullest extent. Like doing just your job isn't enough. You have to also be serving a look while you do it. And Taylor Swift is the far from the first to be subjected to this. And finally, I'm gonna pull in a little bit of history. You ready?
Woo!
So
They're ready.
They're
ready.
fucking ready.
So another woman who faced scrutiny for the way that she dressed was Queen Victoria. Now, if you're American like me and did not learn about her in school, she was the Queen of the United Kingdom from 1837 till her death in 1901. Whoa. She was married to Prince Albert, who of course died of typhoid fever in 1861. And from his death until hers, Victoria remained in mourning very famously. So for 40 years, she was dressed entirely in black, known as widow's weeds. That's what they called it. And so she kept up with her essential duties as the head of state, but she largely withdrew from public life and public appearances. And people were pissed. People hated that. So like having a mourning period was proper, of course, but 40 years was people saw it as excessive and indulgent. There's a quote from January 1864. The Newcastle Journal reported that, quote, "The Queen is still in mourning and wears her widow's weeds, though the princesses are all out of mourning." And the tone of this article is like kind of a subtle criticism. Some people viewed her as like using her grief as like an excuse to get out of her duties. Her popularity plummeted after that. I thought this was actually kind of pretty similar because, you know, we're talking about Taylor Swift's wedding, something that should be so personal to you, and everyone has their thoughts, everyone has their opinions. And, you know, this woman's grieving her husband, like the love of her life, and people just hate the way she's doing it. They hate it. Give us more.
It's wild to give people a time period on when they can mourn and then telling them, you're done now, go back to work. Like,
come on. And she did go back to work. Like she did, damn. But that wasn't enough. And you know, royals back then were like the main celebrities or influencers during this time. You know, we didn't have movie stars yet or pop stars or anything. And politicians as well. Eleanor Roosevelt is another woman who has faced a lot of scrutiny for the way that she looks. She was the wife, if you're not American, she was the wife of President Franklin Roosevelt. She served as the first lady from 1933 to 1945. She faced a lot of criticism for the way that she looked and dressed. She was described as an ugly duckling growing up. And as an adult, she was criticized often for looking plain. Frumpy was a word they would use a lot for her. So this woman, if you don't know, she was a champion of civil rights. During her time as First Lady, she held hundreds of press conferences where she would restrict attendance to female journalists, which forced media outlets to hire female journalists. So, like, really just huge trailblazer, like, did a lot. After her time as First Lady, she was appointed by President Truman as the first delegate to the United Nations Human Rights Commission. Like, she was very vocally anti-lynching. Like, that was one of her platforms. She did a lot. And not to mention that most of this occurred during the Great Depression and World War II. But, you know, she had horse teeth. So that's all that we should remember about her, right? The way she looked.
Right.
Yeah. So not even a war can distract from what's she wearing? How does she look?
Like, wow. Not even a war can distract.
Not even a war. My point with this is leave Taylor alone. Leave women alone. Be normal about women, please. That is my one plea. But I wanted to end on a lighter note and circle back to the title of this video, which refers to Taylor Swift's wedding. So I'm going to be a complete hypocrite right now, and I'm going to share some of my predictions for her dress. With a complete disclaimer, it's none of my business, and I do not feel entitled to any images of her wedding or her dress, but I think it's okay because I'm going to be nice. So that's my disclaimer.
We're just giving her ideas.
Just giving
I
her
think
ideas.
it's fun to be like, what is this person gonna wear to their wedding? If it's like in genuine like interest and just for fun, like not like, and we need to know what she wears.
It's like it's such a special moment, and like it's a moment where people would get to wear something that they never get to wear in any other context.
Exactly.
I think that's exciting, and it's fun to think about what they could potentially do with that.
There's been a lot of like, you know, everyone's wondering, everyone's guessing, will it be sleek and simple? Will it be like big princess ball gown? My mind goes big princess ball gown, because in images we've seen of her in music videos where she depicts a wedding or wedding-like imagery, it's always a big ball gown. I see her going for like a princess moment.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to like pull up a runway or whatever thing and predict, oh, she'll wear this dress. I'm not even gonna try, because it's gonna be custom.
Her ring is $500,000. Like, she's got money in the bank.
And again, like, this is going to be a big fashion moment. I'm actually, like, I'm very curious about the logistics of all this, like how it all goes down. Like, do designers approach her? Like, does she reach out to people? Like, it's a big moment. One of the main predictions that's been floating around is Sarah Burton, which I would love that. I think we have some images of some of Sarah Burton's wedding dresses, or just a white dress here. She famously designed Kate Middleton's wedding dress. Beautiful dress, love it. This of Elle Fanning at the Oscars. I could really see Taylor in something like this, something very feminine and light, like lace, delicate.
Especially because Sarah Burton is at Givenchy now, so they have all of that archival material to work with. I can see potentially what that could be.
Looking at these two photos here, I could see Taylor really going into this sort of vibe for her bridal moment. But if not Sarah Burton, I would like it to be Oscar de la Renta. Oscar de la Renta. Taylor has been loyal to the brand through his passing and the new creative directors that have come in. I think they just kind of get her. I think it works.
Yeah,
like some of my favorite looks for hers. It looks really nice. Like, again, it's not like the biggest serve ever, but she looks beautiful. Like, they know her colors.
100%,
it's her at the Met Gala in 2014 in this beautiful pink dress. Don't quote me on this, I'm pretty sure this one was designed by Oscar de la Renta himself. You know, not the brand. This is one of my favorite.
In the back is stunning. It's
gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. This is one of my favorite looks of her of all time. I really like when she leans more into this, like, kind of like Hollywood starlet, like with the soft curls. I think that really works for her, like the big glamour, but still very feminine and chic. That's all I've got for today. What do you guys think Taylor Swift is going to be wearing?
She wrote.
Comment down below your thoughts.
Yeah.
Do you hate Taylor Swift and you're not a misogynist? Let us know your reasons. Because I think you can.
Be nice.
But, you know, I'm talking about the people who are like, you know, like the people who.
Yeah, it's the misogyny
you know what I mean.
that I think we got to be mindful of. But I think you can 100% have genuine critique of her.
Absolutely.
I definitely
and also,
feel that. Yeah.
Women don't owe you fashion.
Literally.
Women don't owe you fashion.
They do not.
No.
I think unfortunately we kind of have that like stuck in our heads culturally with celebrities, is like everything has to be a fashion moment. So let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know if you like any of these looks that Maggie pulled, which one's your favorite.
Subscribe.
Like and subscribe. And if you clicked on this because you're a Swiftie and you want, I'll talk about more Taylor Swift, comment below.
And if you watched until the end, if you made it to this point, comment a blue heart. The blue heart emoji.
If you made it to this point in the video, I will kiss you on the forehead. Like,
I'll kiss you on the mouth. Shit.
Bye.
Bye.